All right, welcome to game number 4 in the 1975 World Series replay. Game 1 was History Maker Baseball. Game 2 was Inside Pitch. Game 3, the most recent one, was Replay Baseball. And now Game 4, we are at Strat-O-Matic, and we are at Riverfront Stadium as the Boston Red Sox lead the Cincinnati Reds 2-1. So pivotal game for Cincinnati. They do not want to go down 3-1. But you can come back from 3-1. It's just not advisable. So Cincinnati looking to enjoy the home cooking and keep the Red Sox from taking that 3-1 lead. Starting pitchers for today's game for the homestanding Cincinnati Reds, it is left-hander Fred Norman. And for the Boston Red Sox, it is Luis Tiant, Game 1 starter. And we'll go through the lineups relatively quickly. A little bit of change for Boston because of the lefty on the mound. They've done some adjusting. Carl Yastrzemski now is back at first base. Juan Beniquez is going to lead off in left field. These are the as-played lineups. Denny Doyle at second, Yastrzemski at first, Fisk cleanup, Lynn in center, Petrocelli at third, Evans in right, Burleson at short, and Tiant on the mound. For Cincinnati, pretty much the same lineup they've used the whole series. Rose, Griffey, Morgan, Perez, bench, Foster, Concepcion, Geronimo, and Norman. Although Griffey has moved up to second, and everybody else has dropped down one, so the Morgan gets to bat third, more in that RBI position. I guess that's the reason Sparky did that. Ballpark effects here at Riverfront for singles, it's 1-15, home runs 1-13, so should produce some extra offense. Again, this was Game 4. Boston leads at 2-1. So now let's get everything into view here so that we can get this game underway. And then I can take a seat and we can get playing. All right, I think that pretty much shows up, gets everything to show. Pretty sure that does. So, Fred Norman finishing up those warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Juan Beniquez, Denny Doyle, and Carl Yastrzemski. Those are the first three in the order. I think everything is straight, so I can sit down now and get to rolling. Game 4, 1975 World Series. Pressure is on the Reds. They won Game 3 to make it 2-1, but they really need that Game 4 to even the series. All right, so Juan Beniquez against Fred Norman. That's a 5-8. 5-8's a ground ball to short. So Freddie Norman gets Beniquez to ground out, one away. Here's Denny Doyle. He had a really good Game 3. So he's coming in hot. 3-6 against a left-hander, though. He's going to ground it back to Fred Norman. That's out number 2. And that brings up Yaz, who's now playing first base in today's game, or tonight's game. 1-11, and that's a straight-out single. There's no clutch there. It's just a straight single for Yaz. So he will reach. He will not be held. He will certainly not try to go anywhere. And that brings up Pudge Fisk. Nothing on the 20. Pudge, 5-11 against a right-hander. That's a ballpark home run chance. And it's 1-13. 1-13 for Carlton Fisk to go deep. And he does. It's gone. A 2-run homer for Carlton Fisk. And the Red Sox are off to a good start here in Game 4. Sparky may have to get this bullpen going early and often. Decided to save Gullett for Game 5, and that could have been a mistake. We don't know. Here's Fred Lynn. 5-9, and that's an in-home run chance here. Lynn does have normal power, so 1-19 will be another home run back-to-back. And it is. Fred Lynn distributes or deposits a home run. It is now 3-0 Red Sox. And Sparky getting a little perturbed. Here's Rico, 112. That's a low max. He's going to line it out to Concepcion. That's just going to end the inning. But 3-spot on the board for the Red Sox here in the first as they jump all over Fred Norman. And they've turned that lead over to Luis Tiant, who pitched a complete game in Game 1. So he's certainly going to enjoy having this 3-run lead to protect. But they don't call him the big red machine for nothing. So 3 runs may not hold up. Here's Pete Rose. 5-4. Switch hitter batting left. 5-4 is a fly ball center field X. That is Freddie Lynn. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. He's an E8. E8 and an 11 for a center fielder. E8 and an 11. There is no 11. There's a 15 and a 16, but no 11. So Fred Lynn puts that away. 1 down. Here's Ken Griffey up to the number 2 spot. 4-8. It's a 1-9 single. Anything else, he lines it to Denny Doyle. And Doyle snags it. 2 down. Keeps the fast Griffey off the bases. Brings up little Joe Morgan, with 2 outs and the bases empty. 4-8, and that's the same result we just had. 1-9 single, 10-20 lines out. And again, Denny Doyle makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Big Red Machine entering the first. Now, bullpen activity has started for Cincinnati because they just can't, they just can't wait forever. So they've got longman Clay Kirby in the bullpen, loosening. And if he's needed, he will come in early, but we'll see. They're going to try to get Norman through the second inning at least, if they can. He's going to face the bottom of the order, Evans, Burleson, and Tiant. 4-7 against Evans. That's a leadoff walk. Not a good way to start if you're Norman. And Captain Hook Sparky is pacing that dugout, and he is looking to make a move pretty quickly. Here's Rick Burleson. Evans will not be held. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. Looking for a pass ball rating. And Johnny Bench, his pass ball rating is a 0, so there's no chance of a pass ball. So we skip that. Burleson, 6-3. It's a fly ball right field X. That's Ken Griffey. He's a 3-E10. 3-2. That's going to drop in for a hit. 3-2 is a double 2 stars. We'll check an error, but right now Evans is going to stop at third unless there's an error on the play. That's a 12, and he is an E10. And there is no 12. There's a 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, but no 12. But it's a double, and that puts runners at second and third with nobody out, and Louis Tiant, the batter. And how much longer can he go with Fred Norman? Norman had a decent year, 12-4, 3.73 ERA, but he's just, they're going to visit the mound and hope he can do something here. Hopefully that will get him his head straight. I don't know. Infield is in against Louis Tiant, trying to cut the run off, obviously. He could definitely use a strikeout. Definitely would like to have it off the batter card right here. And he does. 2-3. That's a foul out to Johnny Bench for out number 1. So that certainly helps a little bit. That'll flip the order over now to Juan Beniquez. Infield is still in with 1 out. They can't afford to give up any more runs. So they got to do what they can to try to cut it off. 2-11. 2-11 is a ground ball second base C, and we'll check our infield in chart. I believe it's runners hold. Second and third, ground ball C is a 1, and that is batter out, runners hold. So Joe Morgan up with it quickly, checks Evans at third. He has to hold. There's 2 down, and now the infield can go back to normal depth for Denny Doyle. And maybe Norman can pitch out of this. 2-9, or maybe he can't. That's a single to center field. We know 1 run's going to score, and it's possible Burleson could score. The throw was, or the hit was to center. Geronimo does have a -5 arm, but there are 2 outs, and Burleson was not being held. So the fact that there are 2 outs gives him a boost of 2. The fact he's a trail runner not being held gives him a boost of 1. That makes it a 15. But then the -5 from Geronimo is a 10. So he's got a 50-50 shot of making it here. And they're going to throw through, so if Doyle will advance to second on the throw. But if they can nail Burleson at the plate, the inning will be over. So it's going to end up being a 1-10 chance, 50-50 shot. And he's got him at the plate, so Geronimo throws him out. That's going to go 8-2 as Bench puts on the tag. 1 run comes in, but they least Geronimo, because of the arm, keeps it from being any worse. And it's now 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. That will bring up Tony Perez. 2-3 for Perez, and that's a ground ball to Denny Doyle. He's been busy in the field here lately. 1 away. Here's Johnny Bench. just made that nice play blocking the plate. 2-8. 1-19 is a home run, so most likely a home run here for Johnny Bench. And it is. Johnny Bench gets the Reds on the board with that home run. Cuts the lead to 4-1. And here's George Foster. 4-7, and that's a 1-13 single. Anything else, it'll be nabbed by Petrocelli. And Petrocelli grabs it. So tough break there for the Reds. 2 down. They've had some split chances where the D20 has not cooperated very well. Here is Concepcion. 2-7. Fly to center. Put away by Fred Lynn. Innings over. So the Reds at least get on the board. Cut the lead to 4-1. And this will definitely be the last inning for Fred Norman. He is scheduled to bat second next inning. They're going to try to get 3 innings out of him if they can. But they do have bullpen activity just in case. Here's Yaz. 1-4 for Yaz. He's going to ground it to second. Put away by Joe Morgan. 1 down. Here's Carlton Fisk. This is the part of the order that did all the damage. Yastrzemski, Fisk, and Lynn. 4-9. 4-9 is a 1-7 single. Anything else, he lines it to Pete Rose. And Rose will snag it. So 2 down. Fisk homered on the ballpark result, but not this. There's no ballpark result at that time. Here's Fred Lynn, 2-5. He's going to strike him out. That's going to end the inning. So Norman hung in there for 3 innings, but that's going to be it for Fred Norman. They can't afford. They're down 4-1. They just can't afford to keep him in the game. So Fred Norman's going to give up a total of 4 runs, all earned in 3 innings. He will strike out 1, and he will walk 1. Gave up single, double, and 2 singles, a double, and 2 home runs for 5 hits. So that's going to be it for Freddie Norman. He is going to be lifted. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Freddie Norman as Geronimo bats first, but then Dan Dreesen will pick up a bat and hit in Norman's stead against Louis Tiant. Clay Kirby has sat down since they made it past the 3rd inning, and actually now loosening is Pedro Borbon. So Pedro Borbon will be coming in the 4th. He's got long relief ratings, so he's going to try to give him a couple innings if he can. Right now, it is Geronimo followed by Dreesen, the pinch hitter, against Tiant as they try to make up a 4-1 deficit. That's a 6-7, and that's a leadoff walk for Geronimo. Good start for the Reds. He will be held. He's not going to try to run, but he will be held. Here's Tiant. Nothing on the 20. And here's the pinch hitter, Dan Dreesen. 3-6 for Dreesen. He walks. So back-to-back walks to start the 4th. Not what Darryl Johnson wants out of Tiant. As they have a lead, they don't want to start walking guys. And now that brings up Pete Rose. 2 possible balk or pass ball. That's a 6 possible pass ball on Fisk. His pass ball rating is a 0, so no chance of a pass ball. And Tiant's a 0 balk, so if that comes up again, we can just ignore it. Here's Pete Rose. Can't ignore Pete Rose. 2-6. Can't ignore what he just did right here. 1-14 is a double. 15-20 is a single. 2 stars on each. That is a double for Pete Rose. Pete Rose doubles. Geronimo will score. Dreesen will stop at 3rd because of the 2-star result. But that cuts the lead to 4-2, and back come the Big Red Machine. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Infield's playing back because they got to get an out. They'll give up the run to get the out. As Griffey steps to the plate, Tiant can use a strikeout big time. 6-8, and he gets it right here, right on cue. He gets the strikeout. Struck him out, 1 away. So now here's Little Joe. They're still going to play back because they don't want to give up a hit through the infield that'll tie the game. Nothing for Little Joe. 3-3, and that's a 1 for a single. Anything else, he grounds to short. Grounded to short, but that will score the run on a ground ball B. Ground ball B with the infield back, 2nd and 3rd. Ground ball B is a 5, and it says if it's hit to 2nd or short, the batter is out and the runner advances. Well, that was hit to short, so that will score Dreesen. Well, that particular play, if they'd had the infield in, they could have kept the run from scoring, but you don't know that. You can also, get a plus result or whatever that gets the ball through the infield. So You take your chances either way. They're trying to prevent the big inning. Rose will go to will stop it. He will hold at second with the ball hit to short. So he stays at second base, but the second run is in. It is now a 4-3 game, and here's Tony Perez. Rose is being held at second base. 6-9 struck him out. It's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in, and it's 4-3 as we go to the 4th. And new pitcher for the Reds is going to be Pedro Borbon. He will come on, and he'll be facing Rico Petrocelli. So Borbon will be facing Petrocelli, Evans, and Burleson. 3-7 for Petrocelli, and that's a fly to left field. 1 away. Brings up Dewey Evans. 2-10 for Evans. He flies to right field. So Griffey puts 1 away as Foster puts the first one away. Here's Burleson. 3-7 for Burleson. A 1 is a single. Anything else, Joe Morgan will snag it. And Morgan grabs it. 1-2-3 inning for Pedro Borbon. And just like that, the Reds are right back in this game, 4-3. And Tiant, little struggles here lately, so Daryl Johnson's got to keep an eye on him as well. Here's Johnny Bench. He homered his first time up. 4-6. He's not going to homer, but he might double. 1-13 is a double. 14-20 is a single. And that's a double for Johnny Bench. So he's coming out hot and heavy here in this game 4. A home run, now a double. He will not be held. Here's Foster. 6-7. That's a strikeout. So big strikeout there for Tiant. And that brings up Concepcion. Nothing on the 20. 5-3. Fly ball left field X. That is going to be Beniquez in left field. He's a 3-4. Remember, Yaz is playing first, and Beniquez is in left field. So it's a 3-4. 3-2. That's going to be a base hit, probably a double. That will tie the game. And it certainly is. So it's a double for Concepcion. It ties the game at 4 as Bench scores. Now we'll check for an error. There's a 13, and he is an E4. No 13. There's a 15, but no 13. So there's no error, but it will be an RBI double for Concepcion. We've got a tie game, and that'll bring up Cesar Geronimo. Nothing on the 20. Here's Geronimo. 6-10. 6-10 is a ground ball first base B. That'll move the runner to third base. But now you've got Borbon coming up. And then here's the question. Bourbon's pitching well through that 1 inning, and he's got a relief rating of 3, so he can go several innings. Do you pinch hit for him with the runner at third, or do you leave him in there to hit? That's the question. They are going to leave him in there to hit because they need his pitching. They need stability out of the pitching staff, so they're going to leave him in there to hit. So Borbon actually is hitting off pitcher hitting card number 5. So I need to pull that out. I did not have that in front of me. So I need to get the pitcher hitting cards out, the other ones that aren't being used. And it is pitcher hitting card number 5. So he will be using, as you can see here, Pedro Borbon uses pitcher hitting card number 5. Kind of unusual for a relief pitcher, but that's just the way they have it. He actually apparently had some hitting results, so that's what we're going with. Sorry about not having those cards available. I just wasn't really anticipating using any more pitcher hitting cards other than the ones for the starters. But wouldn't count on this long relief stuff. But anyway, here's Borbon. So we got to write Borbon in here because he's actually hitting. So Borbon is actually hitting with a runner at third and 2 outs. Nothing on the 20. Borbon 1-5. He strikes out to end the inning. But the run scores, and we're tied at 4 apiece as we go to the top of the 5th. And Borbon and Tiant's actually the leadoff man here in this inning. So Tiant will be leading off here against Borbon. And they're going to leave Tiant out there. He's their main guy, so you're not going to take him out to 4 innings. You're going to hope he can settle in here. 4-5. 4-5. Fly ball to right field, so Louis flies out to Griffey, 1 away. And that takes us to the top of the order for Juan Beniquez. 3-5, and ground ball to short. So 2 down, and that's going to send us to Denny Doyle. Bourbon retired all 5 he's faced so far. That's why they left him in there. 3-6. Well, he gives up a single here. I just jinxed him. 2 out single to Denny Doyle. Doyle will be held, but he will not go anywhere. And here's Yaz. Nothing on the 20. Yaz, 3-7. That's a 1-14 single. Anything else, Morgan will grab it. And it's a single 1 star, so runners at first and second for Carlton Fisk. So now Bourbon's got to settle in and bear down here with 2 outs. That's a 1, chance for a wild pitch. He's got a 10. And 14 is not a wild pitch, so we go straight to Fisk. 3-6, flies to left, innings over. So Bourbon pitches out of the jam, keeps the score at 4 apiece. Keep everything here at 4 apiece. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 4. And now Louis Tiant's got to make sure he settles in and gets back on track. He's given up runs in 3 consecutive innings. Top of the order, Pete Rose. Leading things off, he's flied to center and doubled. 6-7, switch hitter, his leadoff walk. Well, those walks are really killing Tiant. How many walks is that for Tiant now? 1, 2, 3. 3 walks for Tiant already. Rose will be held, but he will not run. Griffey the batter. 2-4, and that's another walk. So Daryl Johnson has the bullpen up now, as Roger Moret, the lefty, is loosening in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Here's Morgan. Nothing on the 20. 5-2. Ground ball second base. Hey, that's a double play. 4-6-3. That certainly will help Tiant out quite a bit. Rose goes to third, but now there are 2 outs for Tony Perez. So Tiant has a chance to get out of this. Nothing on the 20. Here's Tony Perez. 2-6, struck him out. Boy, Tiant rising to the occasion, pitches out of that mess and keeps the score at 4-4 as we head to the 6th. And this will probably be Bourbon's last inning. Freddie Lynn leads off. 2-6. He's going to pop it up to Joe Morgan, 1 away. Brings up Rico Petrocelli. 3-3. That's a 1 for a single. 20. Anything else? Concepcion will grab it. And Concepcion snags it. 2 down. So Bourbon going to give him 3 good innings apparently. 3 critical innings to save that bullpen and keep the score and allow his team actually to catch up. 5-8. Well, 1's a triple, 2 to 20 is a single for Evans. So we get a single for Evans, a 2-out single. That's not going to hurt him too bad, but if they get anything more than that, it's going to really hurt him. Evans will not be held as he's only a D stealer. That's a 1. Wild pitch chance is a 10. But Bourbon does not do it. Bench blocks it again. Here's Burleson. 4-11. That's a 1-9 for a single, 10-20, and Concepcion will grab it. And Concepcion snow cones it for the out. So Bourbon goes 3 innings in relief. And I think that's probably going to be all for him. We'll see how it turns out as far as the batting order goes. He's scheduled to bat 1, 2, 3. He's scheduled to bat 5th this inning, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Tiant back in to face Johnny Bench. Bench, the hot hitter, a home run and a double. 3-6, and he's going to walk again. Boy, Tiant's just really crapping the bed with all these walks. Now, Bench will be held. He stole 11 bases, so you can't not hold him. He won't go anywhere, but he's going to have to be held. That's a 2, but again, no balk or pass ball rating for either Tiant or Fisk, so we just ignore it and move on. Foster, 2-6. That's a single 1 star. Puts runners at first and second. And Roger Moret is just about ready to come in. They're going to let Tiant face Concepcion, but then when you get the lefty Geronimo, they're going to bring in Moret. So let's see how they want to play this. Actually, it won't be Moret. It'll be Jim Burton, the other lefty, because the pitcher is set to lead off next inning. And, well, Burton's a long reliever, too, so there may be a double switch coming. Let's just see how they play it. Concepcion, first and second. Nobody out. Bench will not be held at second, since there's not a steal chance. 1-6, and that's a single 2 stars for Concepcion, and the Reds have taken the lead. They lead it now 5-4. Foster moves to third base. Runners on the corners. That's going to do it for Louis. He is out of there. Louis will have to leave. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Bourbon coming up as well. But we're going to have a double switch taking place, I do believe. Or do they want to? They really don't want to lose any of their guys that are in there, though. So may not be a double switch. I think we're just going to have Burton come in. Burton's going to come in and just try to get out of this inning. They'll pinch hit for Burton in the top of the inning, but right now they just want to get him out of this inning. So Tiant, 5+. He can't get a single out in the 6th. He goes 5+, and he's in trouble. He's responsible for both guys on base. Here's Geronimo. Runners at the corners, and the infield is in. 1 chance for a wild pitch. He's got a wild pitch rating of 3, but no wild pitch. So Geronimo, 6-4. 6-4 is a fly ball center field X. That's Freddie Lynn. He is a 1-E-8. 1 and a 5. A 1 and a 5 is an F2, which will be a sacrifice fly. Assuming there's no error. There's a 7, and he's an E8. There is no 7, but it is going to be a sacrifice fly for Cesar Geronimo. Sacrifice fly to center. Foster will score. Reds now lead it 6-4. And now we'll get a pinch hitter for Bourbon. As Bourbon did his job, he went 3 solid and took care of business. Now they've already used Dreesen, but actually there's a lefty on the mound now, so they're going to go to a right-handed pinch hitter. And that's going to be Merv Retman. So Merv Retman is your pinch hitter for the Reds. And the new pitcher coming in, new pitcher coming in for Cincinnati in the top of the 7th is going to be, most likely it's going to be, well, I don't know who it's going to be. I think it's going to be Clay Carroll, most likely. We shall see. All right. So Retman is the pinch hitter. Runner at first. Concepcion will be held. Nothing on the 20. Here's Retman. 110, and that is a ballpark single check, which is a 1-15. First time we had one of those. And it's a base hit, 1 star, so that's going to put runners at first and second. Retman gets the pinch hit single, courtesy of Riverfront Stadium. So there you go. Pete Rose now runners at first and second with 1 out. Nothing on the 20. 2-11, and that's another ballpark single check. Again, 1-15. And it's another single. So bases are now loaded. Bases are loaded for Griffey, lefty on lefty against Burton. Infield is playing at double play depth. 6-2 is a walk. So Burton walks Griffey to force in a run. And things are going from bad to worse for the Red Sox. They started out so nice, but not now. That'll bring up Joe Morgan. So the walks have been killing the Red Sox in this game. Infield now is in. Bases loaded. 1 out. Morgan, 6-9. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Burleson. He's a 2E30. That's a 9. 2 and a 9 for a shortstop. And a 2 and a 9 is a G2. So a G2, actually we're looking at the X chart, right? So a 2 and a 9 is a G2, and there's a 4 with him being a E30. E30, there, a 4 is a 1 base error. So how do you like that? E30, a 4 is right here is a 1 base error. You don't have to worry about whether it's a force play or not. It's an error. E6 on Burleson, and things go from bad to worse for the Red Sox as the Reds are looking to even this series, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. That'll bring up Tony Perez, and Burton may have to come out of there because he just can't get it done. So Burton's going to leave. Burton only gets 1 out, he pitches a third of an inning, and now they're going to bring in the right-hander Jim Willoughby to try to get out of this mess. So Willoughby is on. And he's on to face Tony Perez with 1 out and the bases remaining loaded. Infield is in, trying to cut the runoff. Willoughby, 1-11 to Perez. Ground ball, I'm sorry, 1-11 is a ground ball, first base C. And with the bases loaded and a ground ball C, that's a 7. Says batter safe, lead runner is out. So they get the out at home. Had they not been playing in, that would have scored a run. So it's a fielder's choice for Perez. They do nail Rose at the plate 3-2 as Yastrzemski throws to Fisk. Griffey goes to third. Morgan goes to second, and Perez is on first. Base is still loaded with 2 outs. And they batted around as bench started this inning with a walk. And there's been several walks in this inning. 2 walks and an error and a couple of hits. And loads of runs. So there's 2 outs. Bases loaded for Johnny Bench. 4-3 for Bench. Fly ball right field X. That's Dwight Evans. Evans is a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. E6 is the error chance. That is an 11. Should be okay. E6 and an 11. There is no 11, so Dwight Evans makes the catch to retire the side as they bat around and score 4 runs. I guess it could have been worse if you bat around, but that's going to make it 8-4 Cincinnati as they have doubled up the Red Sox after being down 4-0. They've scored 8 unanswered runs. And we got a new pitcher coming in, and it's going to be Clay Carroll. So Clay Carroll is on. And we got a pinch hitter for Boston. And it will be Cecil Cooper, as the pitcher spot is set to lead off. So Cecil Cooper will pinch hit against Clay Carroll as we start the 7th, 8-4 Cincinnati. 2-6 for Cooper. 1-8's a single. Anything else? He lines it to second. Now it's going to line it to second, and Morgan makes the play. So Cooper is out of there, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Juan Beniquez. So Beniquez is up, but they might pinch hit for Beniquez. We'll see. No, they're going to let Beniquez swing away. Well, he's 0 for 3. You know what? Time to get him out of there. Bernie Carbo. Bernie Carbo is going to pinch hit for Beniquez. So Bernie Carbo is up. Try to get something started. And he'll stay in the game to play left field as well. And he's pretty much not that much of a difference in defense. He's got a better arm, worse error rating, but he's obviously a better hitter. So Carbo is up against Carroll. 3-4, and he's going to ground to first, so that didn't work. Darryl Johnson trying to pull anything out of a hat he can to get the Red Sox back in the game. 2-2, pops it up to Concepcion, and that's going to do it. Clay Carroll pitches a scoreless 7th. We go now to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time here in Cincinnati, and it's been a wild one, as the Reds lead at 8-4. George Foster is set to lead off. It's Foster, Concepcion, and Geronimo. If anybody gets on, they may pinch hit for Carroll. New pitcher for the Red Sox will be the aforementioned Jim Willoughby, as he is on to face Foster. Try to keep the score right where it is. 5-7, but that's not a good start. 1-15 is a double. 16-20 is a single. That's a double. Leadoff double for George Foster, and the Big Red Machine, for the first time in the series, is just flexing their muscles, much to the chagrin of the Red Sox. Concepcion, 5-5, struck him out. Big strikeout there. Brings up Cesar Geronimo. Geronimo, nothing on the 20. 2-9 for Geronimo, and that's a chance for a home run right there. 1-3 is a home run, 4-20 is a double. That is a double for Geronimo. That will score Foster, and all of a sudden it's 9-4 Cincinnati. And now we'll get a pinch hitter, and it will be Darrell Chaney. So Darrell Chaney will pinch hit, and then we're going to have Clay Kirby coming in to pitch for the Reds in this blowout. So right now it's going to be the pinch hitter, Chaney. Chaney pinch hitting against Willoughby. 1, chance for a wild pitch. He's got a wild pitch of 9, and it is a wild pitch. So he just wild pitches the runner Geronimo to third, and now it's going to force the infield to come in. They really didn't want to, but they're going to have to. 3-11, ground ball third base B, runner at third with the ground ball B. That's a 7, which means the batter's safe, the lead runner's out. So you throw Geronimo out 5-2 trying to score. And fielder's choice time for Cheney. Cheney will not be held. So there's 2 down, and that brings up Pete Rose. Nothing on the 20, Rose. 1-7, and he walks. So that puts runners at first and second with 2 down for Ken Griffey. Willoughby trying to finish out this mess and get out of here. 2-8 for Griffey. He does it. Ground ball to first, ends the inning. But a run comes across. It is now 9-4 as the Reds have 9 unanswered runs in this ball game. And now they go to their bullpen for the seldom used Clay Kirby. So Clay Kirby, they want to save the rest of their guys for Game 5 when it's close. So Clay Kirby's coming on. Now, if Kirby struggles, of course, they'll bring in somebody else, but they're going to see if Kirby can get it done right here against Denny Doyle. 1-9. Ground ball to short. 1 away. I'm sorry, it's not Doyle. Doyle led off last inning. It's just Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski's leading off. 1-9. He grounds to first. 1 away, and that brings up Fisk. 4-7. Ground ball second base X. That's Morgan. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. E13. E13 and an 11 for a second baseman. E13, there is no 11. There's a 14, but no 11. So Morgan will make the play. Fisk is retired. Here's Fred Lynn. 1-4. Home run, Fred Lynn. Straight up home run, Fred Lynn. But it's a solo shot, so that's not really going to help Boston's cause all that much. It is now a Dolly Parton 9-5 special. And here's Rico Petrocelli. 4-6. Flies to center, ends the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. And we will get a new pitcher for Boston. It will be Roger Moret. So Roger Moret is in. See what he can do. See if he can hold the fort against the Big Red Machine. He'll be facing Morgan, Perez, and bench. Morgan, Perez, and bench. Moret. Facing Morgan, Perez, and bench. Here's Morgan. 3-4. Fly ball. Left field. So it's a good thing he was a lefty, because if he faced a righty, it would have been another leadoff walk. But since he's facing a lefty, he flies to left. So 1 away, and here's Tony Perez. 6-7. Ground ball second base X. That's going to be Denny Doyle. He's a 2, E23. 2 and a 7. He'll get to that. E23 and an 11. I'm sorry, E23 and a 10 is a good play. 11 would have been an error, but E23 and a 10 is a good play. I know about the 11s from George Order and the White Sox, all too frequent. So that one is a good play for Denny Doyle. Here's Johnny Bench. 4-8. That's a 2-out walk to Johnny Bench. Bench, the star of the game so far, offensively, although the Reds have had a lot of offense, but mainly it was Johnny Bench that got him going. 6-10 against Foster. That is a ground ball third base X, Petrocelli. He's a 2, E19. 2 and a 7, he'll get to that. E19 and a 12. Third baseman, E19, there is no 12, so it's good play for Petrocelli. And the inning is over. So it's a 9-5 ball game as we go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Red Sox. It'll be Dewey Evans, Burleson, and then a pinch hitter to face Clay Kirby. And let's see what they got left on the bench for the Red Sox that can pinch hit. And let's see, they've used Carbo already. They do have Doug Griffin. So I guess Doug Griffin's the best they got left. So it's going to be Evans, Burleson, and Griffin. Evans, Burleson, and Griffin will be your pinch hitters. Griffin will pinch hit. So it's Evans, Burleson, and Griffin facing Kirby here in the 9th. 9-5 Cincinnati. 5-10. 5-10. Ground ball shortstop X. Concepcion. We know he's a 1. He'll get to it. The E21 and a 12. E21. There is no 12. It's a good play for Concepcion. 1 away. Reds 2 outs away from tying the series. Here's Burleson. 3-6. 3-6. Pops it up to short. Concepcion's got that. 2 down. Doug Griffin, the pinch hitter. 1-8. And he flies to center to end the ball game. Cincinnati wins it 9-5. Dolly Parton style. They tie the series at 2 games apiece. And critical game 5 will be coming up shortly. Not sure what engine it's going to be on, whether it's going to be on History Maker or on Action PC. It'll be one or the other. So that's going to do it from here. Oops, sorry about that, folks. I still got a few minutes on my recording. I thought I was running kind of late, but apparently not. So let me look at the stats for this game. I can finish those up while I still have some recording time left. Obviously, the losing pitcher is Louis Tiant because he gave up those runs and the Red Sox never recovered. Winning pitcher was Pedro Borbon. He went 3 solid innings in relief, 3 shutout relief innings to get the win. So for Cincinnati, let's see, how many errors did Boston have? I think just the 1 on Burleson. No errors for the Reds. Check the hits. Reds had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits. But how many walks did they draw? Let's look at the walks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got them 8 walks. So Boston pitching walked 8 batters. So when you go up 8 walks and 10 hits, that's a lot of runs, folks, right there. For Boston, let's look and see how many hits they had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 hits in the first 2 innings, and after that, only 4 hits the rest of the way. So they had 9 hits. But 5 of those came in the first 2 innings when they scored 4 runs. And the only damage they did after the second inning was a Fred Lynn meaningless homer in the 8th that made the score 9-5. So they scored the first 4 runs of the game were scored by Boston, and the last run of the game was scored by Boston. But in between, Cincinnati put up 9 runs to win it 9-5, tie the series at 2. So critical game 5 will be coming up. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the pitching matchup, if I remember correctly, is going to be Don Gullett for the Reds facing Reggie Cleveland for the Red Sox. I think that's the matchup. Don't hold me to it because I'm just going off memory. I don't have it in front of me. But Johnny Bench, your player of the game, homer, double, walk twice, scored 3 runs, but his home run really got him going in that bottom of the second, got him on the board, and then a double to lead off the 4th helped him as well. You could also say Rose doubled, had a 2-run double as well. So a lot of different possibilities there, but I'm giving it to Johnny Bench as the player of the game. So 9-5 your final. Cincinnati has evened the series. We'll be in Riverfront for game 5, and then the scene will shift automatically to Fenway because we know now that the series has to go back to Fenway since Cincinnati evened the series. It can't end here. It's got to go back to Fenway. So, like I said, I don't know if Game 5 is either going to be on History Maker Baseball because we're completing the circuit and going back and starting again, or if I can get it to work, I may do it off Action PC Baseball. I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of leaning to History Maker though because I really like the cards and dice more so than the computer. But we'll wait and see. But most likely, it's going to end up being History Maker Baseball just like it was in Game 1. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you are having a great day wherever you are and you're enjoying the hobby, playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And until next time, as usual, I will see you all down the road.